Our tonight presentation is by Civic Tech Fredericton. Sandi MacKinnon is Executive Director of Greater Fredericton Social Innovation and co-founder / organizer of Civic Tech Fredericton. Sandi brings her life that spirit of cooperation. This involves keen eyes for potential partnership on shared problems or challenges. The ability to build a team where there is no team before, and then to promise this new direction to the community. The result is new creative energy emerge in the community and the positive feeling of making difference. Our second presenter is Joy Iloreta. Joy Iloreta has been valued Civic Tech volunteer since November 2019. She is the project coordinator and the driven force behind the Meal Made Simple project that supports the initiative Green Village Food Center in Fredericton. She is a data analyst and a Scrum Master with 10 plus years of experience in business analyst, business management, requirement management, technical product support, training, technical writing, and process transformation. You can find more about the organization through Facebook, their website, Twitter, and Instagram. Please welcome Sandi and Joy.
Hi, Amir. Thank you very much for that.
You're welcome.
So, and thank you, Sam, and the Civic Tech Toronto team for inviting us to present. We're really excited to be here, and I think it's really great that we do this more often. It's great for our team to just be reminded that we're part of a big movement and that there are other people like them doing the same type of work across the country, if not North America. So these are our bios. Amir read them out beautifully, so we'll just go to the next screen. So these are some of the topics we want to cover today is how we got started, what our model looks like. We thought that you guys would be interested in some innovative ways that we've recruited volunteers. I wanted to give you an idea of our culture and some of the services that we offer that it may be a little bit new to some of you and has actually helped us recruit folks. And then Joy, who is a longtime brilliant volunteer with Civic Tech, is going to talk a little bit about a project we're working on that her and Michael are the lead on, and a number of the team working on the Meals Made Simple or Meal Planner, has two names right now. She's going to give a little overview on that, and then our last slide will be what's next. And we really look forward to answering any questions. I think we have enough of our team on the call, so I won't feel too stumped if anybody asks anything too technical. So how we got started. So how we got started was this very first image from Code for Canada arrived in my inbox from this guy, Nick Scott. And he invited me to go hear Gabe, who I'm sure you guys all know, to go hear Gabe speak up at Planet Hatch, which is an incubator for startups here in our city. And that was back in 2017, July 24th, 2017. And so he was looking for, he put a call out and he talked about Civic Tech, and then he put a call out to, you know, is there any champions in the audience? Anybody interested in starting a Civic Tech, and there was a number of us who put our hands up, and some of the folks are still with me today who raised our hands in that room. Feels like all those years ago. So I'm always grateful to Nick and to Gabe for introducing Civic Tech to Fredericton. Okay, next slide, please. Our model is a little bit different where I work. I'm the executive director of Greater Fredericton Social Innovation. We are a registered charity, and the relationship, because Greater Fredericton Social Innovation is works a lot to help improve our community and does that through civic engagement, bringing people together. And so Civic Tech was just fit perfect as a program that GFSI could host. And the benefit of doing that is when we partner with funding agencies or foundations, we are able to provide a charitable receipt. And also GFSI bookkeeper, treasurer Promise, who's on the call right now, helps manage the accounting and the bookkeeping around our Civic Tech funds. So we partner with our city of Fredericton. We have a very close relationship with them. They host all of our licenses, our AWS licenses, and we just got some pro apps from them. And anyway, so the city of Fredericton is a huge supporter, our community foundation, one of our tech companies, Remsoft, and the Windsor Foundation actually pays the monthly rent on the nonprofit resource room, which is the home of Civic Tech. This is where we meet in the same place every Tuesday, and of course now we're just meeting online. But so that's a really interesting model, the relationship that Greater Fredericton Social Innovation has with Civic Tech Fredericton. Next slide, please. So we love our space. This is what it looks like. It's great. It's our home. We keep all of our things there. And so I just wanted to show you how sweet this space is in a social enterprise, which is a refurbished old school. And it's called the Ville. Okay, next slide. Yeah, so we're growing. If you see the picture on the top, that was when we first, when we first got going. We were actually, that particular session was deciding on our what our brand was going to look like. And now we continue to meet on Zoom. Last week, I think I took that screen capture last week. We had 31 people on our call, and I actually included this photo on the bottom because it reminds me to always talk about how our close relationship with the city, and that we have so many new Canadians that come and find community within our Civic Tech team and find jobs, employment, and they stay. And so we were awarded last year from the city of Fredericton the Intercultural Award. So that's us. A lot of our Civic Tech volunteers at our City Hall collecting the award one Tuesday night. Okay, next slide, please. So we have some innovative ways that we recruit volunteers. We have we're fortunate that our city is small, so it's a little bit easier to reach people. And we do have a thriving IT sector here. So a lot of our members, of course, recruit other members from within their companies that they work at. But something else we do is we connect with the settlement agencies that are like our Multicultural Association and at the YMCA, and they all have employment representatives who help connect people with work. And so we connect with them, so they send them to Civic Tech. And that's been really helpful. We have so many new Canadians who've walked in the door and have just arrived in Canada and didn't know a soul, and really found family with our team. Speaking engagements, I've done pre-COVID a lot of brown bag lunches, like going to tech companies and talking about Civic Tech. I talked about the employment agencies, but something else we do is we partner with, we have in Fredericton a couple of community colleges, we have 2 universities. So we partner with a lot of students, but not computer science students as you would think. We partnered with, like we have Every year, 6 to 8 social work, social action students doing a placement with Greater Fredericton Social Innovation. A lot of them are the Civic Tech connection to community for helping implementation of some of our tools and doing research. We had 2 pro bono law students last year do placement with us. We currently have 4 University of New Brunswick Renaissance College leadership team students. I think there's some on the call, wave your hand. And so having students come and do placements with us and help support Civic Tech in other ways that are outside of not just in the IT sector, but actually helping us engage with our community. So there's an interesting photo on the top. That's our mayor. We for 2 years in a row, we were invited to a special table at the mayor's address to the city. So, and there's some pictures of me just presenting about Civic Tech. Okay, next slide, please. So I like to talk a bit about our culture because our culture is very, very close. We are a close-knit family. We really are like a family. We have a potluck every year where everybody brings a dish, you know, a signature dish or something. If they represent a certain background, they'll bring a dish related to their culture. And we also have, which is fun, every summer we have these big family barbecues. So 2 summers ago, we had a lot of the Egyptian guys are in the background of this picture down here of the barbecue, and they were in charge of the barbecue. But the guy with the white t-shirt and the big knife is Ricardo. He's been with me since the beginning. He's from Brazil. So we had picanha. We had a Brazilian barbecue, and so we really formed quite a challenge between the Egyptians versus the Brazilians on what is the better barbecue. So I thought I would include, you know, some of the cute things that we do. So these 3 guys in black up here, these are my Syrian boys, I call them. These are young fellas who came here as refugees who graduated from high school last year and are going to one of our community colleges, taking a systems administration program, and they come to Civic Tech every week. And as Arabic is their first language, that we have a lot of our Arabic speaking volunteers help them go through some of their school materials. And it doesn't just happen actually at Civic Tech. I got a call from one of our volunteers, Civic Tech volunteers yesterday, who was actually on the call with them, helping them just with translation. We give some of the services. Sometimes our nonprofit sector will come in and just help with like an Excel spreadsheet. They'll come in and they'll say like, I need some, how do I do this? Is this the best technology I could use? And the team will provide advice. We have a lot of mentoring. We just ran, I think Mohammed Saleh, who is certified, actually so is Joy, certified in Tableau for data visualization. Mohammed just ran a four-session program through Civic Tech to provide some training on Tableau. We do a lot of data visualization. We enter competitions to help earn money for pizza. And anyway, so we don't just develop solutions. We're there as a tech IT advice for our nonprofit sector. If you go to civictechfredericton.com, there's a list of all of the projects that we've worked on. And a lot of you that have heard me speak will learn about, the Riverwatch Mobile and the Caring Calendar. We could go to the next slide, Sam, please. So today we're going to talk about one of the projects, the Meal Planner. So I'm going to mute and pass it over to Joy to talk to you guys a little bit about the Meal Planner.
Okay, good evening, everyone. So in the next few slides, I'll be giving you an overview of one of the projects that Civic Tech Fredericton volunteers are working on. So I will talk about the client, the team that is building the solution, the solution's features, and then I will show you some of the screenshots of the solution itself. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, so the client, Greener Village. It started as the Fredericton Food Bank in 1983, and it eventually expanded its services to the public by providing the learning kitchen, the community gardens, the unique boutique, and it also has programs for life skills development. So Greener Village initiated a program named Meals Made Simple. This is to encourage members of the public to eat healthier for less money. So Fredericton, Civic Tech Fredericton supports this initiative by building the meal planner application, which we will eventually rebrand as a good meal plan. With this application, customers can organize weekly meal plans with nutritious dishes that are within their budget. And customers can create meal plans from Sunday to Saturday for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then create a shopping list and obtain the recipe. Okay, next slide, please. So in order to build the application, we need volunteers to take on the roles for IT software development project. So we are fortunate, as Sandy has mentioned, to have such skilled volunteers in Fredericton to do coding in React, to design the user interface, to design the overall technical solution, to build the backend database and components, and then to conduct software testing and also to manage the project. And we call ourselves the Team Sparkle. So we follow the Agile Scrum methodology to build the application. We have 3 weeks iteration, and once a week we meet to update each other about the tickets that are assigned to us. So we request the volunteers to spend about 4 hours each week for status meetings, training sessions, and actual work like coding, designing, testing, and documentation. So we have good technical leads as well who teach and guide the developers in coding and creating components at the back end. So the volunteers really learn a lot by getting involved in this project. Okay, next slide, please. So based on the requirements that we gathered from Greener Village staff, we identified features and grouped them into releases. So there are 2 user roles for the meal planner application: the Greener Village meal designer who creates the recipes, and then the Greener Village coordinator who is the one talking to the customers or the public about their meal preferences. So we completed our first release last July. So the Greener Village meal designer can already create the meal plan in the meal planner application. And now we're working on releases 2 and 3. So for release 2, this will enable the coordinator to select one or more weekly plans and generate the shopping list, which they can give to the customers. And then for release 3, it will allow the meal designer to input recipes, instructions, videos, and ratings into the system. So in release 1, we created the dummy admin page to populate the database so we can do testing, and also we can present to the user. So for release 3, we're planning to come up with an official page so that the meal designer can input the recipe information. And then for release 4, these are the enhancements for greater user experience. Okay, so next slide, please. So here are the screen captures for some of the pages that the team has completed. So we have the login page, and then we have the page where the user can select the meals and build the meal plan. So they can select the names of the dishes at the left side and drag it to a specific day or meal time at the right panel. And then we have the meal catalog where users can click the photo of the dish that they want and then navigate to the recipe page, which you can also see here. So the recipe page shows the ingredients, directions to prepare the meal, and pictures of the dish, and then the preparation video. So we are hoping to finish the meal planner by second quarter of this year, right, Dan? So yeah, thank you so much for listening. And if you have questions about the technology, you can ask Sandy.
Thanks, Joy. That's awesome. So what's next? So we want to continue doing what we're doing. We really, the meal planner is a tool that has some legs. We've talked to other food centers across the country. There's not a meal planning tool available to food centers across the country. If any of your civic tech organizations are interested, in getting the code and implement and partnering with your food bank, then we would love for the meal planner to have some legs and go right across the country. This would be quite amazing. We also really are focused, you know, for me and my buddy Aaron, who's on the call somewhere, we really want to help grow Civic Tech across the Maritimes. This is a picture of us in St. John, meeting with the St. John Civic Tech team who are now up and running. And it just so happened that 2 of our Civic Tech volunteers from Fredericton moved, to St. John. And that's kind of got the ball rolling with some really great innovative, you know, make stuff happen people in the St. John area. And so we're really interested in growing to Bathurst and Moncton and Charlottetown and Halifax. We really want to support them, whatever has you know, whatever we need to do. So that's what we're going to be focused on over the next year. Continue the great work, and then continue with our connections and contacts in other areas across the Maritimes. So thank you, merci. These are all of our social media things. If you guys wanted to reach out and follow us, I think I would love to continue to connect. And I think we should make some meetings like this a little more frequent. So I have so many of our team here, so this is a great time to ask any questions.
I have a question. Gabby, I have a question.